下面一位特别讲员是我们王均一牧师。就一牧师，他大概是我们中间第一位年轻的弟兄哈。他在1975年1月12号生，那我们教会在1974年成立的，对不对？那我们成立的时候，他大概这么小吧，还在余卫平姐妹的肚子里面，大概是这么小，大概是。就一牧师在2003年念完神学院回来到我们教会当传道。2007年安利成为牧师，他为了在教会里面为许多年轻的小朋友、那青年们有很多的带领。我相信在座很多弟兄姐妹身为父母有过孩子们的一定都跟我一样有这个同感。很感谢就一牧师在这些年里面能够带领那些年轻人在他们的信仰上面有根基，在他们离开我们教会出去念书的时候，他们都能继续的能够服侍神。我们就把下面时间交给就一牧师。
I'm not going to speak in Chinese, so Auntie Nancy is going to translate for me. As our church celebrates 40th anniversary, I'm starting to feel old as well, because I realize I'm going to be turning 40 in just a couple months.
当我们教会要庆祝40周年的时候，我觉得我自己也老了，因为我已经快40岁了。
And as I think about our church, I am kind of where many of you were 40 years ago.
其实我就跟大家一样，在40年前，40年以前。
Married with maybe some young kids.
可能已经结婚了，有一些很年幼的孩子。
And as I think about my life is very much intertwined with CFC.
当我想到我自己生命的时候，其实我发现我的生命跟中华归主教会是紧密交织在一起的。
And so I just wanted to share some memories and also some reflections that I have as I think about my life and CFC's 40 years of history.
所以我在思想我的生命跟圣荷西中华归主教会的历史的时候，我想跟大家一起分享我自己的经历和见证。
If you've never heard my testimony, I'm sure you're getting snippets of it from other people already.
我想在你们还没有听到了见证之前，你们已经从别人的口中稍微知道了我。
But literally, I feel like I grew up in the church.
但我是真的是在这个教会长大的。
My earliest childhood memory is lying on my dad's lap in a Sunday worship service.
我最早的一个孩童的记忆，就是在主日崇拜的时候，我躺在我爸爸的大腿上。
And my head is facing upwards.
我的脸往上看。
And I can hear my dad's voice singing, "What a friend we have in Jesus."
我可以听到我的爸爸唱耶稣恩友这首诗歌。
But I can't see his face.
但是我看不到他的脸。
But I remember seeing the blue hymnal.
我只看到那个蓝色诗本。
And that literally is probably one of my earliest childhood memories, is hearing my dad praise God.
这大概就是我孩童时候最早的记忆，就是听着我的父亲赞美神。
And when I think about just where our church has been, many of you don't remember Park Avenue Church.
我在回忆过去的时候，我想很多人不知道我们在 Park Avenue 聚会的情况。
And it was through their generosity and willingness to let us as a small church use their facilities.
其实就是因为他们的慷慨，所以他让我们使用他们的场地作为聚会的地方。
And I sometimes wonder, what would have happened if they didn't open their doors to us?
我常常在想，如果他们当时没有打开大门让我们使用的话，我们教会今天不知道是什么样的情况。
Where would we be?
我们会在哪里呢？
Right? But when I look back at our early church, I see God's provision through other churches.
当我回想过去的时候，我看到神借着别的教会来供应我们的需要。
And I remember as a little child, I think there was some Caucasian white lady that taught like children's Sunday school or something like that.
我记得我小的时候有一个白人的老师教导我们主日学。
And I don't remember anything she taught.
我不记得他教过什么东西。
But I remember just the warmth and the love and the hospitality that she kind of showed even me as a little kid.
但是我却永远记得他对我的爱，他的温暖，他的热忱，这是我永远不会忘记的。
And how even though we were kind of renting or borrowing this church facility, that still felt like our church.
虽然我们那时候是租用那个地方作为我们聚会的教堂，但是我还是觉得那是我的家，我的教会。
More of my memories of CFC start to kind of come back up when I think about when we were at Campbell Church.
我比较多的记忆是在当我们在 Campbell 那个地方聚会的时候。
And for probably that's where most of you remember me.
那可能也是大家最记得我的地方。
And that was during my middle school rebellious teenage years.
那是在我初中青少年叛逆的时期。
And as any typical teenager goes, they go through a lot of emotional ups and downs.
就像一个很典型的青少年一样，我那时候有很多情绪上的高低起伏。
But it wasn't just the emotional ups and downs of hormones and whatnot.
可是其实不只是一些情绪的高低起伏或一些荷尔蒙的作用。
But it was also a wrestling for me in my heart as I try to figure out this faith that I saw my parents. Was this something that was my own?
其实那时候我正在思考问题，就是这个信仰到底是我自己的，还是我父母传给我的？
And all the things that I grew up hearing.
当我在成长的时候，我所听到的一切
And everything that I was taught.
我所受教的一切
Did I really believe it in my heart?
我是不是在内心里真正相信这些呢？
Right? And so as I was wrestling with these thoughts and feelings,
当我在跟这些思想情绪挣扎的时候，
there was just a lot of anger and a lot of just,
我的心中有许多的愤怒，还有
And you think about, oftentimes when we are upset or we are frustrated, who do you take it out on?
想一想，当我们很挫折、很愤怒的时候，我们会把我们的这些气愤向谁发出呢？
You take it on the people closest to you, don't you?
当然，你把这些发泄在跟你最亲近的人身上。
You don't take it out on strangers.
你不会把它发泄在陌生人身上的。
Right? You take it out on your parents.
你把它发在你的父母身上，
Your siblings.
你的兄弟姐妹身上，
Your uncles and aunts.
你的叔叔伯伯。
Right? And when I think about, kind of those years for me, I took it out on the church.
我想一想，在那个时候，其实我就是把它发泄在教会里面。
Right? And when I look back, I think I took it out on the church because I realized that these were kind of this was like my family.
我那时候把这些发泄在教会里，是因为我把教会当成我的家。
And it was through that season of life that I experienced so much of God's grace.
就在那一段时期，我经历到神很多的恩典，
So much of God's love.
神的爱，
So much of God's patience with me.
还有神对我的耐心。
Through all my Sunday school teachers.
神借着这些主日学老师
And
显示
even
他的
other
耐
people
心，
that had to deal with me.
还有许多需要面对我的人。
I remember one time I was just really upset and I started swearing at a Sunday school teacher in the middle of Sunday school class.
我记得有一次我非常的挫折，我就向我的主日学老师说一些不该说的话，
And I stormed out in the middle of class.
并且我就在上课的时候冲出去教室。
And I remember this one uncle, he wasn't the Sunday school teacher.
我记得有一位叔叔，他并不是主日学老师，
He just walked with me.
他就跟我一起走。
And he just walked with me. This was at Campbell Church. I didn't know where I was walking. I was just walking around. I just wanted to be away from the church.
他就跟我一起走，虽然那时候我不知道我要走到哪里去，
And he didn't say anything,
他没有说什么话，
but he was with me.
但他陪我一起走。
And I remember that was just a powerful reminder for me of God's presence.
这对我来说是一个非常强烈的一个提醒，就是神与我同在。
That even though I wanted to run away from God,
虽然我想远离神，
here was God through an older uncle in Christ walking with me, not letting me go.
但是神借着一位年长的叔叔跟我一起走，让我不要离开他。
All right? And I know that I would not be here today standing in front of you if not for the many uncles and aunts who cared for me, who taught me, who were patient with me, who probably lost some hair because of me, who probably gained a lot of white hair because of me.
我想我今天可能没有办法站在这里，如果不是有那么多叔叔伯伯，他们这么的爱我，这么关心我，他们也可能因为我掉了不少头发，或是白了不少头发。
Right. And it's interesting, when I think about Campbell Church, it was also a very pivotal time.
Campbell 这个教会的时期对我来说也是一个高峰期，
Because it was during that time that actually we started our youth ministry.
因为就在这个时候，我们开始了青少年团契。
Right? That there was a vision and a burden to care for the teens in our church by Uncle John Han.
那时候韩城环叔叔，他对于青少年的关心跟教导有了意向和负担。
Right? And it's amazing to think that here we are, about 30 years later.
所以非常奇妙的，青少年团契也已经30年了。
Right? Out of the burden of one or several individuals.
只是因为一位甚至几位弟兄，他们有这样子的负担。
And I think about how many generations of students, even many of your children, have passed through our youth ministry.
我想到有多少代的学生，还有就是我们中间的孩子们，曾经就在青少年团契里成长。
Because of certain individuals, their desire to serve and to care for the youth.
就是因为有人对青少年关心，要侍奉他们。
Another memory I have of Campbell Church is going there early every Sunday morning.
在 Campbell Church 我还有另外记忆，就是很早就要到教会去。
I remember every Sunday we would always say, "Daddy, how come we have to go so early?"
每个早上我总是问爸爸，为什么我们要这么早去教会？
And I remember we would also get upset because when we were one of the first ones to get there on Sunday mornings.
我觉得很挫折，因为我们是最早到教会的。
But we didn't get the best parking spot.
可是我们不会停在最好的停车位上。
I remember pulling into Campbell Church, and if you remember the building, if you're pulling in, the building's on the left, and there's like parking spaces to the right. My dad would always make a right, not a left, into the building area.
如果大家记得那个教堂就是在左边，右边是停车场。但是爸爸总是不把车子往左边离教堂近的地方停，他总是要往右边这个比较远的地方停车。
And I remember always kind of not yelling, but telling my dad, "Dad, why we're here first, right? First come, first serve."
我总是跟爸爸说，我们先来的，本来先来就应该先停好位置嘛。
But my dad never told us why we parked the furthest away.
但是我的爸爸从来没有告诉我为什么我们要停这么远。
But over time, I learned why.
但是在这些年日之后，我知道为什么。
Many of you know my dad. He's not a person that talks a lot.
很多认识我爸爸的人知道，我爸爸并不是多话的人。
He leads more by action.
他常常用他的行动来表达他的意思，
and by his life.
还有他的生命。
But I remember as a young kid seeing his servant's heart.
我记得在小时候，我看见他一个仆人的一个心智。
Right, where when I started coming to CFC,
当我来到中华归主教会
and I
的时
started
候，
driving myself,
我自己开车的时候，
I would always park the furthest away too.
我也尽量停得很远的地方。
And I also remember at Campbell Church, we would get there early morning and we would set up all these chairs.
我记得 Campbell 教会就是我们很早到那里去，我们就把椅子都排好。
And even though I hated it as a kid, because my dad would make me help set up too.
虽然身为一个孩子，我很不喜欢做这样的事，因为我爸爸总是要叫我帮忙排椅子。
And I could only carry one chair.
我也只能一次拿一个椅子。
And I'd see all the men, carry like 4 chairs at a time.
我看很多大男人一次可以拿4、5个椅子。
But I look back and I see people that love the church.
但是当我回顾过去的时候，我看到很多人爱教会。
People that didn't just see the church as something they went to and left.
教会对他们来说，不是只是去或离开的一个地方。
But the church was a place that was like their home.
教会对他们来说就是一个家。
That they cared for it.
他们非常关心这个家。
And they were willing to serve and to help out.
他们非常愿意服侍这个家，帮忙这个家。
Never receiving praise from other people.
他们可能从来没有得过任何人的称赞，
But they did it out of love for God.
但是因为他们爱神，所以他们如此做。
And they did it out of love for the other people in the
他们也因为爱人，所以他们这样子持续的做。
One other random memory I have, I remember when I was in middle school, as a guy, you want to, oh, I'm a guy. I want to be, I'm strong. I'm a man, right? And so I remember trying to arm wrestle Pastor Samson at the time when I was like 7th grade. and also Mr. Jen. Where's Mr. Jen? Somewhere. Do you want to say? Yeah. And I remember thinking, oh, I could beat him. I'm a 7th grade guy, and of course I lost him. So.
我小时候7年级的时候，我当然只是一个小男孩，可是我很想做一个大人，所以我常常跟Samson 叔叔还有任成生叔叔比较我的手力，希望能够跟他们一样的强壮。当然我输了。
But when I think about when we moved to Williams Road in 1989,
当我想到我们1989年搬到William Road 的时候，
it's funny because that was also when I started high school.
那个时候我刚开始上高中。
And it was during that time that it was through this church that I had the opportunity to serve.
也就是在那个时候，我有机会在教会里学习侍奉。
Whether it's helping out with a youth group.
可能是在青少年团契帮忙。
Whether leading a Bible study.
也有时候带青少年查圣经。
And I look back and I see how God gave me opportunities to explore my gifts, and I don't think I would be here today as a pastor if not for those opportunities through CFC.
所以当我回顾过去的时候，我看到神给我机会来发掘我自己的恩赐。如果不是那样子的话，今天我可能不会在这个地方。
And of course, in 2003, I came back after seminary.
当然，在神学院毕业以后，我在2003年回到教会。
Which is also when our church was finished remodeling.
那个时候也是我们教会快要完成改建的时候。
And I remember when the opportunity came to come back to CFC to serve, my first response in my heart was no.
我记得当我有机会回来教会侍奉的时候，我第一个反应就是不。
I had heard too many horror stories about people who grew up in a church going back to their home church to serve.
因为听到很多在教会长大，后来又回到教会侍奉的人，他们发生了很多很恐怖的故事。
Right. They said, "Oh, they're still going to treat you as a little kid."
因为他们还会把你当作小孩子来看。
They'll say, they won't recognize you as a pastor.
他们不会把你当作一个牧师
They
的。
said they won't respect you.
他们不会尊敬你的。
Right? They'll treat you like, you're still 15.
他们会把你当成一个15岁的小孩来看。
They'll remind you to, make sure you have a coat on, don't catch a cold.
他会提醒你穿上外套，不要感冒了。
Right? And it's for all those reasons that my initial response was actually, no, I didn't want to come back.
所以因为那些原因，我当初第一个反应就是我不要回来教会侍奉。
But as any good Christian knows, you always have to pray about things, don't you?
但就像我们大家所知道的，我们一定要为这个事情祷告。
And you know what happens when we pray,
而且你也知道，当我们祷告的时候会发生什么事情。
right? Like God changes our heart,
上帝会改变我们的心。
right? And it was out of faith and out of God's calling that I felt like God wanted me to come back here.
所以因着信心，也因着神的呼召，我就回到了中华归主教会。
And all those kind of fears and horror stories that I heard from other people,
有关那些很恐怖的故事，还有我自己的担心害怕。
I can honestly say I've never experienced any of those here at CFC.
OK， 很诚实的跟大家说，我一点都没有经历到这里的任何的一件事情。
And I think a lot of it has to do with Pastor Lee and the elders at the time.
我想这跟当时的李光林牧师，还有当时的长老对我的帮助很有关系。
Who, even though I was only, in my mid-20s,
虽然那时候我才20多岁，
they welcomed me and treated me as a fellow pastor,
但是他们欢迎我，也帮我当成牧师中的一份子，
and not as a little kid.
不是一个小孩子。
And it's crazy to think I've been here now 11 years.
想一想，我在这里已经11年了，
I'm turning 40 in 3 months.
我在3个月就要40岁了。
Right? It's amazing to think, and I share all these things. It's not really just about me, but it's about what God has done through me and how God has used our church. And I'm sure that if we were to ask other students and children, even some of your children that have grown up in this church, I know many of them would have lots of stories to tell as well.
其实今天在这里分享，不是关于我自己是什么样的人，乃是要让大家看见神在我身上所做的一切。我相信有很多弟兄姐妹站在这里的话，也可以讲述很多他们的故事和见证。
Right. But in sharing, I hope that it's a way to give thanks to God.
但是我知道我的分享是一个感谢神的一个方式，
Right. As well, the friendships and the relationships here as well.
也是为在这个地方所形成的一些友谊，我献上感谢。
Right. That church isn't just a building,
教会不只是一个建筑物，
but it's the family.
是一个家。
Thank you.
谢谢。